Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us here at Indigo Moon. So, there's this dog. The parents realize that they're going to have a baby, so they decide that they're going to adopt a pet, and they want the dog to grow up with the baby. So, they decide that they're going to get a Rottweiler. So they get the Rottweiler, and the Rottweiler is so cute. But right while they're trying to train the dog and get him together, the woman goes into labor. So she has the baby and she has a little girl. And they notice how the Rottweiler is always cozying up to the baby and protecting the baby. So one day the baby's in the rocker. The rocker chair is very close to the floor, and they're living in the Bronx. And the rocker is going back and forth, and the dog is on the opposite side of the baby. But the dog is growling. And the couple is taken aback. They're like, wait a minute, why is the dog growling at the baby? So they look at the dog and they think the dog is going to attack the baby. So they feel like they got to get rid of the dog. So they decide they're going to take the dog on a long drive upstate New York. So they drive up to upstate New York and they drop the dog off. They have the dog thinking that they're throwing rocks in the lake. The wife goes back to the car with the baby first. And the husband stays there throwing rocks. And he decides he's going to throw a branch. When he throws a branch, the dog goes to run for the branch. And the father runs to the car and they take off. And they abandon this dog. This dog has never been out in the wilderness before. The dog is far away from home. The dog doesn't know what to do. The dog starts laying there crying, heartbroken, trying to understand why his parents would do that to him. Why did these people leave this dog? Why would they abandon him? So they get home. Of course, they have a tug-of-war feelings, but they said, they got to protect this baby. So they get back into the apartment. And when they get in the apartment, they smell something funny, but they can't quite put their finger on it. But they go to bed anyway. In the middle of the night, they hear this shuffling sound in the kitchen. So when the father goes to see what it is, it's a rat. And when he sees this rat, in fact, it didn't happen that night. It happened a week later. When the rat comes out, it comes out a week later, and it's in the exact spot that they noticed the dog was growling towards in that direction. And then they realized, they put one and one together, connecting the dots. And they said, oh, shoot. The dog was actually protecting the baby. He was growling against the rat. Oh, my goodness. What did we do? So they call an exterminator, and the exterminator said they're going to have to get another service because he can't, he's afraid of this rat. The rat is so big. And when he sees the hole that the rat made in the wall, and this is a brownstone they live in now. So if the rat made that kind of hole in the wall, he said, I'm not about to risk my life trying to get it to know anybody's rat. So he leaves. They get a few specialists, but they finally find one exterminator who's going to do the job, and he thinks he's got it, but he didn't. So now they are trying to figure out how in the world they're going to get this dog back. So they go searching for the dog in the exact same place that they left. That dog is gone. They look everywhere for the dog. So they go to the town that's near this area, and they ask people, have you seen a dog? Have you seen this dog? Have you seen this dog? The dog ended up going into the pound because the dog was heartbroken and another animal tried to attack it. The dog attacked the animal. And when the dog attacked the animal, he ended up getting rabies. So they had to put the dog down. When they found out that this dog did not survive, they felt even more so guilty. You see, sometimes we don't know the full story. And we jump to conclusions, and when we jump to conclusions, we have no idea what exactly the problem or what the cause of the problem was. So let us begin to pray over things before we make accusations because we really don't know. And this poor dog did not get to live out the beautiful life that he thought he was protecting his baby sister. But he was put out of the house because of this protection he thought he was actually doing. And it's a very sad story, and I know I try not to give you sad stories, but sometimes we have to see some of the errors of our own ways, because we have a tendency sometimes of jumping to conclusions and not knowing the full story before we judge. So thank you so much for joining us here at Indigo Moon. You have a wonderful day.